Okay, you ready, Milo? You ready? Let's go!
The Voro RoadRunner Pro has been our family's favorite thing to ride in our garage over the last few months, and while the website calls it a seated electric scooter, my girls call it their super fun mini bike. But unlike gas-powered mini bikes that are loud, smelly, and slow, the Voro RoadRunner Pro is silent, odorless, and fast, capable of speeds up to 50 miles an hour when unlocked. And the best part is, the Voro RoadRunner Pro is easily upgradable thanks in big part to Voro Motors, who literally reinvented the wheel with the RoadRunner Pro's innovative split rim tubeless tire design, which makes changing flat tires or upgrading tires incredibly easy. So stay tuned as we do our first ever split rim tire change and upgrade our Voro RoadRunner Pro. This RoadRunner Standard Edition, super fun. If you want more fun, then check out the RoadRunner Pro, which is a blast. It's my daughter's favorite thing to ride right now. It goes up to 50 miles an hour. I mean, this thing is incredible, but we're gonna make it even more incredible. Right here, we have $350 worth of upgrades that we are going to put on this RoadRunner Pro. Andrew, what do we have?
Yeah, we have a bunch of accessories to upgrade it. One of the things that I prefer is a smoother tire made by PMT, just because it's a softer compound, it's gonna grip the road. Another issue that I find is with the suspension. For me, being heavier, it kind of compresses a little bit weird. Some other things that I wanted was some colored handlebars, and also some things to customize for Jimmy's daughter because she rides it the most.
It's gonna go from Pro to Pro-er. So let's go ahead and get started.
So this is the handlebar choice that I chose. These are nice. I'm surprised that Voro Motors is selling this for pretty cheap. I think it was like $35, $39. A lot of companies are charging between $50 to $100 for handlebars.
Super lightweight, and I love that shine.
This is what I thought would be perfect for Jimmy's daughter. It doesn't really change the performance, but it adds to the aesthetic. So you can just slide these right onto the brake levers, but it'll be perfect because purple's her favorite color. Is it? I don't know.
It is now.
It is now. Having a rear view mirror is gonna help out tremendously. So instead of having to turn my head completely around, going 50 miles per hour, I can just look in the mirror. One thing is, I think people really underestimate tire performance. PMT tires are super soft compound. A lot of tires are made with nylon, braided with a little bit of rubber. PMT tires are all rubber, so they should perform a lot better.
Look like racing tires you take to the track. Look at these slick, like road tires.
And then these suspension pieces I ordered from Amazon. They were $68.99, pretty much $69. And these are nitrogen filled, so for me being 200 pounds on the RoadRunner Pro, it bottoms out a little bit odd, but I think these should help out.
All right, so upgrading is fun. It can be expensive. In this case, $350 worth of accessories, not bad.
We'll start out by removing the rear tire. With this, we can essentially just remove the tire, unhook the motor cable, and this will slide right out.
Make sure you keep your bolts nice and organized, don't lose them.
The smallest goes on the interior, the medium size goes on the bottom, and then the large ones go on the top. A lot of tire changes can be very painful, but this one should just slide right out. And then look, just slide that tire out. I wonder how this is gonna fit with the fender, so we might have to remove the rear fender. I'm not 100% sure. The one thing is you just want to make sure when you're putting together the split rim that you're avoiding the valve stem. If you pinch that valve stem, you're gonna have to redo the whole tire change, so just make sure that you have the tire sitting on top of where the valve stem connects to the split rim. Normally with these types of tires, you have to seat the bead, but I just was able to pump this up slowly with this little easy $30 pump, and I was able to get the bead to seat. So pretty cool design with the split rim. We're gonna go ahead and change out the suspension, and this should only take a few minutes. So one thing is the one that comes stock on the shock, it's got too much movement. I'm gonna have to replace the spacer. So I'm about to put on the rear tire, but one thing that I noticed is that this rear fender has to go. There's just no way with the PMT tire being that much bigger that it's gonna fit without rubbing. So we've got the rear on, rear suspension. Time to do the front tire change. We're gonna do this a little bit more detailed so you have a better understanding of how to do a split rim tire change. First things first, we need to get this motor hub cable off. It's gonna be pretty tight though. So getting off that motor hub cable was pretty challenging. It's tucked behind this little mount that keeps all the forks together. I did mull up the connector a little bit, but it should still be fine. Just be a little bit careful when removing the front motor cable. gonna call this the bigger rim. I'm not sure really what to call it. It's just a little bit more alloy. And this is a smaller rim. Slide the bigger rim through the motor hub cable and then attach these bolts on the inside. Another thing we learned as well is not to tighten all the bolts super tight. So leave them a little bit loose because you're gonna need a little bit of play to get all the bolts to line up correctly. The rotation is that direction. This is wrong. So we're gonna flip it, and now it's facing the right direction.
So take home message is these tires need to go in a certain direction. Don't screw it up.
All right, this is all set up. Now I just gotta add some air. Don't just blast it with too much air. You want it to be balanced. So I'm gonna slowly add some air in and just make sure that it's seated correctly. And then some things to look for is just make sure it looks evenly spaced around the edges. So like right here, that looks pretty even. Should be good to go on. Back on the RoadRunner Pro. Should be able to lift this up in here. Got this thing pretty much set up. I'm gonna slot the battery in here and give it a test ride. So overall, very quick tire change. The first one only took me 20 minutes. After I made a few mistakes and learned from that, the second tire only took me 10 minutes, very fast. Normally it takes me about 30 minutes to an hour to do a tire change, so I was surprised that I was able to do it in under 10 minutes. Oh, that is better, that suspension. Yeah, this rear suspension upgrade, for $69, you really can't beat this. It's got nitrogen in them. My 200-pound frame on the stock suspension, I was bottoming out all the time. It wasn't pleasant, it was pretty rough, but this is nice. Yeah, look at that. The tires are by far the best upgrade that you can do for pretty much any PV. Totally changes it, the grip, safety purposes. I thought I would burn out more, but actually it's burning out less. The reason why is it's getting more grip on the road. Previous tires are a little bit harder compound. When I'd go to pull the throttle, I would burn out because it's just harder compound sliding. And now because they're softer on these PMT tires and wider patch, it's not really burning out at all. The tires felt great. You could feel there was better traction, but it did feel a little bit imbalanced. One trick I learned is that you can put it up on something, throttle it at full blast, and that centrifugal force should help balance out the tires. With the stock tires and you throttle out of the turns, you can feel it sliding out, and it's a little bit sketchy. You get sideways on it. With the PMT tires and your throttle out of the turn, it's super smooth, great grip, and you don't feel that washed out feeling.
All right, so we've taken out the upgraded RoadRunner Pro. Andrew, how'd it feel?
Easily the best upgrade that you can do for the RoadRunner Pro is adding new tires on it. Rear suspension for $69, you really can't beat it. I'm not bottoming it out anymore. I'm not having the issue where I go off of a curb and I feel like I'm hitting rock bottom. So for under $350, personalize it to your style and make it safer and a lot more of an enjoyable ride.
The tires and the suspension, you can't beat it. Great upgrades for the money. Check out our full written review at freshlycharged.com. Thanks for watching, you guys, and when you guys ride, wear your safety gear.